All right, everybody, Judo Sailor here with a video that I am really excited to be making. I have some exciting news for the channel, and well, let's just get right to it. I have my first project car. It's this 2004 V6 convertible Mustang with a manual transmission. And I'm super excited about it. And so I'm gonna do a quick overview of it. I think for the thumbnail, I'm gonna put the same thing that Hoovie's Garage often puts of everything wrong with my new 2004 Mustang. But the truth is that I have not really gone over it with a mechanic. I just gone over it myself and with a buddy of mine that has also a lot of experience with Mustangs, and so I think we've got a pretty good handle on kind of what is going on with it. And so I will go over all of that with you and some of the projects that I will be doing to it. But first, let me tell you the things that I know are good about this car. I'm really excited about it. It probably looks a little better in the pictures, in the video, than it actually does in person. It does have some real cosmetic issues that I will be dealing with. And so we'll get to some of those in a minute, but just giving you kind of a quick overview of the car. Also, I did just get a gimbal for the first time, and so I'm kind of getting used to that. Hopefully some nice, smooth shots as we walk around. But first, let's talk about what's good about this car. First of all, I got it very cheap. I got it for less than $2,000. One of the best things about it, even though like I probably will get a lot of crap for buying a V6, I even had someone tell me, so you basically have a muscle car without muscle. But the truth of the matter is, I'm gonna daily this, and I just wanted something fun to drive, and this still has some pep to it. It still has some get up and go. Plus, I love the fact that it's a convertible. I love the fact that it's a manual transmission. So the motor, however, is in great shape. The motor really purrs like a kitten, with one exception that I will tell you guys about in just a moment. And the motor also only has 110,000 miles on it. Actually, I mean, the whole car only has 110,000 miles on it, which is great. The other thing that is really good about it is the top. The top is only a year and a half old. Yeah, I realize we're out kind of in the sunlight underneath the tree. It's a little kind of dappled. And so you may have a little bit of a hard time seeing, but there's just no way that I can get the lighting better outside. So I don't know how well you can make it out, but this convertible top is in really nice shape. The other thing about this is that the interior is really clean. And as I show this to you, I want to let you know, I have not done anything to this yet. I'm going to detail it. I've not detailed it. I've not washed it outside. About all I've done is I did go over the interior with a little bit of like some Clorox wipes, just because of the old Rona. But you can see that really the only kind of rough thing about the interior is, as you would suspect, the bottom part of the driver's seat, which has some rips and tears. But that said, you can see that the rest of it is pretty good. It's a little dirty, actually show some dirt, but no rips or other tears in the rest of the driver's seat. There's some wear, but it's not really ripped or tore all the way through. And of course, the passenger seat in really good condition. Again, sorry about the lighting, the outdoor lighting, not too much I can do about it. So here you have, the dash, no cracking on the dash. Dash is in good shape. And of course, as you would suspect, because it was probably hardly ever used the back seat in nice shape. And of course, because the top was recently replaced, I don't know how well you can see, but the top is in nice shape too. And so there are some really, really nice things about this car. Obviously missing a hubcap there in the front, you can see. Actually more, unless I can find one at a junkyard, they're a little more expensive than you might think. Like online, I've seen them going, they're like $60 just for one. So there you have it. My new, to me, 2004 V6 convertible manual Mustang. Now let's talk about what's wrong with it. All right, so there's the engine. I told you the engine is solid, and it is. It runs really nice. It purrs like a kitten. The one issue maybe that the engine has is you will hear the lifters click a little bit when it first fires up before they get all oiled up. Oil pressure is good on it. It does have plenty of oil. So I'm not really sure what to do about that in the long run. But in the meantime, that's not really a big deal. Just let it warm up for 30 to 60 seconds. It stops right away. As far as I know, and as far as I've been told, as long as it does that, as long as it goes away and goes away relatively quickly, it's not really a big issue. Other than that, really purrs like a kitten. Now, it does have one major thing, which is the first thing that we are going to fix on it. And I don't know how well you might be able to see, but the power steering pump. The power steering pump is like spitting out power steering fluid all over. It squeals when you turn the wheel. So the power steering pump is going to get replaced on this bad boy. You may notice the alternator here looks pretty new, and I'm pretty sure it is new. But that's also, let's see if I can get this to show you in here. See if you can see all this stuff down here, all dirt, all goop, not dirt, all oil and stuff from the power steering pump getting thrown out on there. What we suspect happened was we think that that was spitting out so much stuff, it got inside and ruined the last alternator, and so they had to replace it. So we are going to replace this power steering pump probably sometime this week, actually. So really, as far as the engine, that's about it. It does have one other kind of what I might call a major mechanical problem, and that is the clutch is starting to go. And I will demonstrate this for you in just a moment, but one of the things I've discovered is that the clutch will make some noise when you have the clutch all the way out and the car is in neutral. And I know that can be a couple different things. It can be a worn out throw out bearing. It can be just the clutch itself. So far it's still driving fine. So far it's still shifting fine. So far it's still engaging the gears just fine, no problem. And that's not actually a really expensive thing or even a particularly difficult thing to replace. Them have to drop the whole transmission in order to replace the clutch. So probably what I'm going to do is some other week after I've replaced the power steering pump, we'll drop the transmission and we'll just replace kind of everything in there. We'll put in a whole new clutch, we'll put in a new rear main seal, a new throw out bearing, things like that, and we'll just get the whole thing replaced, and then I should be good, you know, for another 30 to 50,000 miles until I have to do it all over again. So let's see what that sounds like, and let's also fire it up so you have a chance to hear what it sounds like when we start it up. All right, so here we go. Gonna start her up. Started right up. Sounds good. You can hear the lifters clicking a little bit there. It's not really warmed up. No lights on the dash, as you can see. Also, I did run it for codes. It has no codes, so it's in good shape. And you know what? I don't know if they did something to the exhaust on this, but it sounds pretty good. In fact, now that the lifters are quieting down and getting lubed up, let's just give her a rev or two so you can kind of hear what she sounds like. So I think sounds pretty good for a V6. Now, let me see if I can get it to show you or so you can hear. And again, it's kind of an intermittent problem. So I'm gonna bring down here more just so that you guys can kind of get a better feeling. I know you're not really hearing anything, but I want you outside the compartment. So here is with the clutch engaged in neutral, clutch out. Hear that? Clutch engaged, clutch out. So that may be a throw out bearing. Maybe something else in the clutch, but either way, gonna replace the whole thing. So except for that, there's really nothing else wrong with the car mechanically. The rest is all cosmetic. So let's talk about the cosmetic things. Obviously paint will need to be redone. Again, like, I'm sorry about the outside lighting, but let's see if you can see. I don't know if you can, but you know, you can see all along here. The clear coat is peeling, the paint is chipping. Same thing like right here. You can see the clear coat's all like peeled away. And you find that in a lot of places on the car. That's just one example of it. Then these bumpers have been spray painted black. Here, you can see underneath the original still red color, and just rattle can job, spray painted black. They look like trash. So it's probably going to be the last thing that I do, but at some point I will be repainting this car. You can see same thing on the rear bumper. It's maybe not in quite as bad a shape, but the same thing back here. You can see right here. Also, for what it's worth, it's missing the little Ford badge. It's kind of an annoyance. So I'm gonna have to replace that. Also, I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, but the rear taillights don't really match. The one on the left looks kind of orange, and the one on the right looks like a nice red. So I don't know if the right one was replaced at some point, or they just wore unevenly or faded unevenly or what, but that's another cosmetic thing. Then the other kind of bad cosmetic thing are the headlights, and there's two problems with this. Obviously, they're super fogged over, as you can see. But they're also sagging, and you know, I already closed the hood. I should have shown you this while I was in there, but there's a plastic bracket that goes across the top that the headlights connect to, and that bracket is broken. It's literally snapped in two, and so that bracket is going to have to be replaced, then new headlights. I may try to clear these up a little bit in the meantime, but yeah, it's that. So basically new lights all around, front and back, and then a repaint on the car. Replace the missing hubcap. It is going to need new tires on the back. They can go maybe a little while, but not too long. This is actually the worst of the two, and they don't match either. They're different brands. Front ones are new. And so they're in decent shape, although they're not an expensive tire. They're kind of a cheapo tire, but you can see those are like brand new. Those are great. So sooner rather than later. Oh, This is one other thing I just like about this. Has the 40th anniversary badging on it, which is pretty cool. Also, new brakes and calipers on the front. So I'm excited. First of all, I've already just loving driving this car. It is just great. It's so much fun to drive. And man, you know, even with the V6, it's pretty peppy, and that helps to have the manual. You can wind it up a little bit more. You know, my goal is to get it, first of all, just back to good mechanical shape and looking good stock. Once all of that is done, then I will probably start thinking about maybe doing a few little upgrades. I'm never really gonna race it, but if I could do a few things just to give it a little more horsepower, just a little more oomph, a little more torque off the line, I might do it, you know? Stuff like cold air intake, something with the exhaust, maybe even putting different gears in the rear end. But otherwise, that's it. Big news for the channel. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun getting this back up to par. And in the meantime, it runs and drives. It's gonna be my daily when I'm not riding the motorcycle. And so there's just some days the motorcycle doesn't work because of weather or because I need to carry things for work. But either way, that is it. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything from this video, if you're excited about seeing more what's going to happen with this car, with this project car, then like this video, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out, or helps me. There's no us, it's just me. It really helps me out if you subscribe to the channel. I would like to one day hit 1,000 subscribers, but for now, my goal is simply to make it to 100 subscribers. And so even for that, I'm gonna do a quick little giveaway of a scan tool, a C-Reader 3001 OBD2 scan tool. And so when I hit 100 subscribers, we'll have a little contest to give that away. So hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, if you like this, what you think of Mustangs, what you think of this as a project car. And that said, Judo Sailor, out.